everybody, I'm Blanche and welcome back to Feast in the Middle East, and I've got a surprise for you vegans out there that have been requesting a vegan recipe. It's called Shorbat Addas, which is right here. Shorbat Addas means literally lentil soup in Arabic, and no soup is complete without bread. And so for you low carbers out there, I'm thinking of you, Basile, you've been requesting a low carb bread. These are Za'Atar biscuits with a secret ingredient where you won't even need to use any refined flour. And I'm going to show you how easy both of these are to make, especially you guys that are busy, you're working, you want something quick and easy to put on the table that's full of nutrition. This is perfect for you. And also, it's got a nice creamy mouthfeel, the soup, so you won't even miss the meat, honestly. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make. We're going to start with some olive oil. I'd say about a tablespoon or two. You don't need to use olive oil. If you prefer a different kind of oil, that's fine as well. So I'm going to turn on the heat. Another time-saving method I use is to get pre-chopped onions, guys. Like they sell this even at Trader Joe's now. If you don't have time to chop the onions, I've got pre-chopped onions over here, or the equivalent of one large onion. So either like about a cup of chopped onions or one large onion. So I've got my oil heated over here. I'm going to add these onions here. And we want to saute these onions until they're nice and caramelized, nice and brown. The reason why we add onions to this soup is to add a kind of sweetness of flavor. Now you might wonder, why did I pick lentils? Well, lentils are fantastic for a variety of reasons. One is that they're full of fiber, so they fill you up. They have plenty of protein. They have plenty of iron. They have a slow burning fuel in your body. So when you eat lentil soup, you get full for a very, very long time. You won't be craving anything afterwards. So this is great for people that want to maintain their weight. I figured, what better time to have lentil soup than now? This is Lent. A lot of people are going vegan this time of year. A lot of Christians that are practicing Lent right before Easter, they are going vegan. So this is perfect for this time of year to just eat clean, amazing, healthy, really filling foods. So as you can see here, I've got the onions and they're gonna be translucent pretty soon. Not too many spices in this soup either. I'm gonna show you the spices are pretty streamlined. As you can see, it's getting more and more translucent. To this, I'm going to add 4 cloves of minced garlic. Now, if you want another time saver, you don't want to chop garlic, get the pre-minced one. Big deal. That'd be about the equivalent of like 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. So we want that nice garlic flavor. And to this, we're gonna add the lentils themselves. Or here, let's add some seasonings, guys. We're gonna add some pink salt to the onions, just to flavor the onions. I love pink salt because it adds a nice mild salt flavor. Okay, so we're gonna add a lot of liquid to this. But before we do, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about these lentils. Now these lentils they're like pink lentils. They've got such a pretty color, and because they've already been like hulled, they're nice and soft when you cook them, and they make a creamy flavor, so you don't even need to add any cream at all. They have a nice texture to them. And we're gonna add seasoning. Now for seasoning, I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons or 1.5 teaspoons of cumin. Depends on your cumin preference. That's about 1.5 teaspoons. This will help you digest the lentils, guys. So if you have issues from lentils, you're like, oh, they make me bloated or this or that, I can't digest them. The cumin will help you digest the lentils. It's really awesome. I don't even have issues with these lentils. For some reason, they're easy digestible for me to begin with. And just for some added color and antioxidants, turmeric. I add turmeric to almost anything. I have about like a half a teaspoon of turmeric. If you want turmeric, more turmeric, feel free to add more. All right, so now we've got that going on. Now the liquids. I have 4 cups of water, and I'm gonna add to it about 4 cups of veggie broth. Okay, this is like organic, free-range vegetable broth. If you don't want vegetable broth, you could even add chicken broth, but because we're going vegan, we're adding veggie broth. You could make it all veggie broth too. I did half and half to kind of demonstrate for you. You could have all water, or all broth. It really depends on what's available in your pantry. So don't feel limited, guys. If you're like, oh, I want to make this soup, but I don't have broth, that's okay. Just use water. And conversely, if you have a ton of broth and you want to put it to good use, just use all broth. There are really no rules, guys. This is what I love about this soup. And I want to season it with some more salt right here and more pepper. Okay, we're going to let this simmer for a good 30 minutes, okay? And this is a shout out to you vegans out there, people that have been responding. I've been asking you guys what ideas you want me to implement in this show. So this is for Mary C, Quack, Shadia, B-Pod, all of you guys, and then some that have been requesting vegan recipes. This is all for you. One more ingredient to add some color and extra fiber and sweetness, some carrots, just about like 2 carrots that have been chopped up finely. So while this soup is simmering for about 30 minutes until it gets nice and thick, I'm going to start making the Za'Atar biscuits, and wait till you see the secret ingredient in these. You wouldn't believe this in a million years, but the secret ingredient to the low-carb biscuits is cauliflower. I know you guys think I'm crazy, but this really works, especially when you grind it up. So in every store, they sell riced cauliflower to make it super easy for you. But you see this consistency? It's a little bit too coarse to make it into a flour. So what I'm gonna do is put it in the food processor. So I've got about 2.5 cups of riced cauliflower. And once I put it in the food processor, it's gonna become about 2 cups worth, okay? So watch how I do this. So I'm gonna just put this in the food processor right now. And we're gonna grind it up until it's a lot finer in consistency. And that's gonna be the base to our flour. So check this out, guys. Let's get it started. All right, so this is gonna make our nice flour. Before we add it to the mix, we're gonna add, now this is not vegan, I know, this is more vegetarian, but we have 2 eggs here. There's 1 and 2. Now, if you are vegan, instead of these, make a flax egg. So a flax egg is about 1.5 tablespoons of water to 1 tablespoon of flax. But I'm using eggs because these are gonna be vegetarian biscuits. So I'm gonna whisk the eggs here and add my cauliflower flour. This really works. I know you think this is insane, but it really works. Okay, so let's add my cauliflower flour to it. Cauliflower, basically. All right, so let's add this. And because it's primarily cauliflower, it's very low in calorie. Like each one of these biscuits is about 50 calories. So you can't really overdo it. I mean, if you eat 4, that's like 200 calories, but you will be so full, honestly. And they go great with the soup. Okay, so we got the cauliflower flour. Now we're gonna season this so it tastes fantastic. The seasonings are really simple. We have about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and for more flours, we have 2 tablespoons of coconut flour and 2 tablespoons of almond flour. Now let's say you don't have coconut flour, use all almond flour. Let's say you don't have almond flour, use all coconut flour. But coconut flour absorbs a lot of moisture. So here, let's start with the 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, the 2 tablespoons of almond flour, and if you don't have almond flour, you can just grind almonds in your food processor till it's nice and fine like this. And my 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, okay? And we have to season it with a quarter. Here's another tip. So I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. This works as a binding agent for the biscuits, but if you are vegan, again, use nutritional yeast. So instead of 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, use 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. And this is gonna add some saltiness, so I don't have to use too much salt. I'm just gonna use like a little bit of salt. And we're just gonna mix this up. This is going to make our batter for our biscuits. It's gonna literally make a dough, like a vegetable-based dough that you could shape with your hands and put on a pan to bake. So look how easy this is, guys. There's no yeast involved. There's no, laboring and kneading a dough with your hands for hours. This is a really quick and simple dough. And you can alter seasonings as you want. You could add fresh herbs, you could add some chives to this, you could add some thyme, whatever you want. I mean, sky's the limit. This is just a base for you guys, and you can take it from there. Now, to make it into biscuits, just get a pan over here. And I'm gonna shape this with my hands, and you could make any shape you want. Okay, just a second. Got some soup overflow in here. Okay, so you can make it in any shape you want. So I'll give you a couple examples, okay? You can make them biscuit style, where you just kind of roll them up and make them into like biscuit. You could flatten them out so they can be like miniature pitas. So here's an example, like miniature pitas, right? So I'm gonna just quickly roll these out. And when I make this recipe, it reminds me of one Feast in the Middle East fan. His name is Basil, and he sent me a message. He's like, you know, we have so much cuisine that's based on bread. And another gal named Linda too, she said, you know, we use so much bread in our cuisine, right? We're always dipping bread with hummus and labna, and can you come up with a bread that's low carb that we can make that doesn't have all the calories and carbs of regular bread? So that's when I came up with this idea. And I'm not done with seasoning this, so you can go crazy with the toppings, guys. So I have two different kinds of toppings. I have a surprise for you. This is Palestinian Za'Atar from Sea of Herbs. And for you viewers, for your support, if you go to seaofherbs.com and you use the coupon code BLANCHE20, my name, BLANCHE 20, you get 20% off your purchase through March 31st, guys. So you want to get this Za'Atar, hop on it right now and get that discount just for you for watching this show. So you could use Za'Atar as a topping. So as you could see here, and it adds such a nice fragrant, it adds a fragrant flavor, texture. And what you want to do is like press it in just a little bit, you know. My hands are messy, guys, sorry. I'll be washing them soon. Another alternative are black sesame seeds or even poppy seeds. So I just wanted to show you. These are sort of like those bagels that you see in the market where they have black sesame seeds. These are really lovely too. I just buy them in bulk. It's so cheap, really. So here's like two examples, okay? So what you want to do is put these in the oven at 400 degrees for about half an hour. Check on them. If you like them really brown and crispy, you could even broil them the last 2 minutes just to get an extra crispy texture. I'm going to show you how this all comes together once it's out of the oven. I wish you could smell the soup right now. It smells so amazing. It smells like earthy and sweet, and the colors are so pretty. Look at this, from the turmeric and the carrots. And what you can do is, some people like a little bit of sour flavor, so they'll add a little bit of lemon juice. Some even add lemon juice to the whole pot. I'm just gonna add a little bit just to add additional flavor to the soup. And actually the vitamin C from the lemon juice helps you absorb the iron from the lentils that much more, which is a nice little trick for vegans out there that want to get maximum iron absorption from your vegan food. That's my little tip. Let me show you the rolls, guys, that just came out of the oven. Aren't they beautiful? Now, the one in the center has sesame seeds, and the other ones have Za'Atar. And I mean, I just love dipping these into the soup and eating them, but look at the bottom is nice and browned. You could spread it with hummus. That's how I like to eat it. So like spread with hummus or dipped in the soup. So you have your soup and you have more protein from the hummus. If you want the hummus recipe, I also have that in my playlist, guys, under dips. The easiest hummus recipe you could imagine. It's so good. Now, for the hardcore bread lovers like my sister Lorraine, I'm thinking of you. I know you're gonna be like, don't mess with my bread. I don't want cauliflower in it. But for those that are open-minded and want to try something, I say give this a shot. Especially during Lent, you could just plow through these for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, not add that much calories to your diet, but add a lot of depth and flavor. And the soup, here, I'm gonna bring the soup up here. Right here, all these colors. It's just so warm and satisfying. The little extra lemon adds a nice kick to it. So, tell me what you think, guys. I want comments from you vegans out there that have been requesting this. Are you willing to give this a try? Please subscribe to my channel so that I can keep, we need this for the algorithms for YouTube, guys. The subscriptions and likes are super important. And it's free. It's free to subscribe, honestly. And if you want to join our Patreon community, I have the link below where you can get additional recipes, behind the scenes information, and your name in the credits. So until next time, guys, صحتين, I'm gonna enjoy this vegan feast. This is so good. I love the lemon with it.